Hello and welcome here. Okay, today I want to answer the question: can I have sex after my traditional wedding, but before my church wedding? Can I have sex with my spouse after my traditional wedding, but before my church wedding? Okay, right now, the answer to this question depends on your value system, right? It depends on your value system, and not just your value system, but also the values and the rules and the principles and the policies of your church. These are things you should take important. You should not just wash them away, right? Now, the moment you have your traditional marriage, the moment you have your statutory marriage, you have your marriage under the Marriage Act in the marriage registry, right? The moment you have that particular marriage, in the eyes of the law, in the eyes of the people, and in the eyes of God, you are married and entitled to all the rights, all the benefits, and all the privileges of a married person. We should start from there and make it clear from there so that you have that understanding that once you have your statutory marriage, maybe in a marriage registry, or you have your customary marriage according to the customs and traditions of you or your spouse. Once you do that, in the eyes of the law, in the eyes of the people, and in the eyes of God, you are married. And if you are married, it means that you are entitled to all the rights, all the privileges, and all the benefits of marriage, including sex. Now, there's just only a proviso, there's just only an exclusion, right? An exception, sort of. If you choose to conduct any marriage, right? If you choose to celebrate any marriage, if you choose to have any marriage, any form of marriage ceremony, then it is your responsibility. It is your moral responsibility, your ethical responsibility, your spiritual, your civil responsibility to adhere stricto sensus to the rules, to the policies and the guidelines of that particular form of marriage and form of wedding that you are electing, that you are choosing. Remember that it is your choice, right? You can choose to have only a statutory marriage in Nigeria. You can choose to have only a traditional marriage in Nigeria. You can choose to have only a church wedding in Nigeria. Whichever one you choose is valid in itself and on its own. Now, you can also choose to celebrate all three, to do the three of them, right? Now, if you have chosen to do the three of them, then you must, yes, I'm saying it, you must abide by the rules and the policies of all of them. So if you want to have a church wedding and your church wedding says premarital sex is wrong, and your church says premarital sex is a sin, your church says that they would not join you, they will not marry the two of you together if they know that the two of you are already having premarital sex. They will not do a wedding for you, maybe they will do a blessing for you. If your church has that policy, if you have done your traditional marriage or you have done your statutory marriage, you do not have the right to have sex because you have not yet done your church wedding. Your church did not say that you can have sex after your statutory marriage, you can have sex after your traditional marriage. If your church says that you can only have sex after your church wedding and you choose to have a church wedding in that church, hey, what's the problem here? It's a simple answer. Abide by the rules, abide by the laws. Why do you want to be a defiant? Why do you want to be a rebel? Why do you want to violate the law? Why do you want to be an offender? You are the one who chose this thing. Nobody forced it on you. Nobody's compelling you to do it. Besides, you are not being forced to be a member of that church. So if the church is still saying that they will not join you because you have started having sex, although you are already statutorily married, you are already customarily married, you can change the church. Nobody will force you to stay in the church. You can change the church, but you cannot force the church to say that they must accept you. They must accept what you have done. They must accept what you are saying. They have their policy, they have their rules, they have their doctrines. It is yours to choose to be part of them or choose not to be part of them. Freedom of association, right? So this is my answer. It all depends on what your church says. If your church says that you cannot have sex until after your church wedding, if you have done your statutory marriage or you have done your customary marriage, do not have sex unless you don't want to have a church wedding. Thank you. My name is El and I'm alright. Thank you so much for following Tina. Remember to subscribe, share this with your friends, and if you drop a comment or send a WhatsApp message, be assured that I'll be the person that will attend to it. You rock.